There is no such thing as a rival channel. There is no such thing. And when you think that other channels are rivals, you are in the wrong state of mind. Alright guys, this is not usually what I do on the channel, but we need to talk about this. There's definitely some drama going on there, and I want to be watching this here. This is called The Problems with Star Citizen Org's Skunk Works here. There's been some unfortunate things happening, and I want to put my insight here as a content creator myself.
Not a day goes by in Star Citizen where there is not some type of org drama. So the latest one now...
We've seen that with the Medrunners. I didn't want to comment about this, but this one I will.
happens to be coming with Katie Bryan, or whatever the hell her name is, and the Skunk Works organization. Real brief, this is some YouTuber, and
she... I hate this trend of saying, oh, they. Come on, it's obviously a female, right? So just say she. Was they? We know it's a... if you watch her content, obviously she has a very female voice. So she. What is this? Anyway, so, yeah, she's a content creator. She comes from Elite Dangerous, and she joined Star Citizen, I think it was like last year or 2 years ago. And she's been making some... staged content, let's just call it that way. Her content, it's not actual gameplay that she does. It's more like she uses her organization to make these scenarios, and the videos are very well done. I'll give her credit for that. But we're gonna see what happened there.
Run an organization,
Hello,
a
Gruff.
citizen called Skunk Works. I've only run into them about 3 times so far into PU. Each time was a jump town. And each time the result was the same. All I can say is that they stink just as much as their name implies they do.
Oh no, shots fired here. All right, yeah, Gruff. I know I forgot to change Starfield to Star Citizen. I'm sorry about this. Yeah,
but this isn't about that. This is not about talking about how terrible Skunk Works is in game, which they are.
That's his opinion.
But it's more about the mentality here, the mentality that this individual has.
All right, that's what I want to
bring
talk
it up
about.
on screen here. And if you look at this, you can see the series of tweets. And this is all public domain on Twitter. And this was, I guess, a gentleman by the name of Blue the Robot approached this person.
And this is what I want to talk about. That looks so bad. That looks so bad. And normally the way I think is, if you don't have something good to say, then say nothing about people. But this is going too far. That is. So there's this guy here, Blue the Robot. He's sending a message. He wants to collaborate. He's an upstarting YouTuber. I think he's got like 5,000 subscribers. So he's not that small, right? But he's asking. He likes what she does. He's maybe a fan, right? So he wants to collaborate, right? He says, "Hey Kate, been meaning to reach out. A lot of people have been telling me to reach out to you to get some footage of your org in action." You know, he doesn't even want to do any kind of weird gameplay thing. He just wants some footage to see if that's possible, right? My recent video for Star Citizen get some decent traction. I totally understand if you don't have the time. He says, hey, I'm getting some traction. This could, bring maybe some people who don't follow you. They could see some of your content, right? And there's the answer. No chance. The org is an asset. If you want footage of an org, build your own. That is not cool. That is not cool. I'm not saying that refusing and rejecting the offer is not cool. That's not what I'm saying. It's totally okay to say no. That's totally okay. Maybe you don't have time. Maybe that's not what you want to do. Maybe that's not the way you do things. That's totally okay. But you gotta do it in a polite way. You have to do it in a proper way. And I've got a lot of people who ask me to do collabs or take some of my footage, or whatever. And usually I say yes. When it comes to, hey, Rad, I really like that video. Can I take your footage? I say, hey, if you credit the video, I'm fine with that. As long as the video is credited and they've got links in the comments, that's fine. Because the way that Google works is that the more links you have towards your page, the more it's going to get promoted. So if I've got a ton of links towards my videos, then my videos are going to get promoted more. People do research on Google, they're going to see my videos. So that's actually a positive. And that's why when people do that, they ask me, can I use some of your footage? I usually say yes, as long as there's credit and the link is in the description. I'm fine with that. As long as it's not copyright infringement, right? Exactly, Gruffus, exactly. Now, sometimes people ask me for some collabs. Hey, can we do this event together? Usually, I say no, because the reality is I don't have time. And I tell them, usually that's what I say. I'm sorry, I'm very busy. I don't have time. That's the reality. I'm not a full-time content creator. If I was a full-time content creator and I would have a lot of time and I would be bored, probably I would say yes more often. But the reality is I've got a full-time job that I'm going to go to very soon. I'm a husband with a wife who's very demanding. I've got some kids as well. I got no time. The few moments that I'm spending doing live stream with you guys, that's the free time I have, and that's it. So that's what I'm telling people when I reply. Or sometimes they're asking me to do some crazy stuff that's just not the way that I play the game, right? I'm being very honest with you. Say, look, man, I appreciate the opportunity, but that's just not how I enjoy playing the game. But I'm sure, and I'm telling you, please ask some people in Discord. At least maybe some people will want to do that, right? That's what I did that just the other day. But that, in my opinion, that's how you handle these situations when you got some requests from people who want to reach out. And again, there's nothing negative with that. These people, I really don't like this. I really, really don't like what I'm seeing here. There is no such thing as a rival channel. There is no such thing. And when you think that other channels are rivals, you are in the wrong state of mind. That is not how it works. Because the people who watch you, they are not your viewers. They are YouTube viewers. The rivals would be the other platforms. That eventually, if there was such a thing as rival, they're not your viewers. They're watching other. You don't own your viewers. They're watching other channels too. Of course they are. It's just she can take care. She takes care that clear we can see boobs in her picture. Yeah, looks. Yeah, there's that too, Luke. There's that too, but that's off topic, I think. Anyway, my point is that the bigger the cake is, the more viewers you can get, because the more channels there are, maybe the more viewers there will be. It's not going to decrease the amount of views. It's actually going to increase the amount of views that you're going to get, because more and more and more and more people will be interested in Star Citizen. When you got people like Oli, when you got people like Level Cav with millions of subs going to Star Citizen, I'm sure that a lot of them who were not following Star Citizen before, until these huge YouTubers came to Star Citizen, are now following Star Citizen thanks to these big YouTubers. And these big YouTubers are bringing their viewers to the Star Citizen community, and they are also bringing their viewers as a result to other YouTubers, because these new people who were not watching Star Citizen before, who were not interested in Star Citizen before, then they start becoming interested in Star Citizen. And then maybe they start watching other channels too, because the YouTube feed will be saying, hey, you like Star Citizen? How about you watch this one? How about you watch this one? How about you watch this one? And then they're watching other YouTubers that they would not have watched before, thanks to these other YouTubers, these so-called rivals who are actually not rivals at all. They are peers, not rivals. There's a difference between a rival and a peer. A peer is somebody who is, like you. We are all peers. We're not rivals. We're all peers in the same boat. And when I see that, I'm under the impression that she gets the whole picture completely wrong. And it makes me upset, because that is not how it is. We are sharing the same cake, and our goal is to make it bigger, not fight for the slices. There's enough slices for everybody. And the more people come in, the bigger the slices are. And she does not understand that. We do not need additional promotion because the channel provides plenty of that, and our numbers are always high. Now, there, the Blue the robot here, he gets it. He says, I wouldn't consider me to be a rival channel. In fact, I don't consider any other YouTube channel to be a rival. There we go. I just would like to promote collaboration. And again, I'm new to the verse. I figure if I ask, but thank you for your time. And she doubles down on that. Says, it's easy to take the we're all in this together attitude when you're new to the YouTube ecosystem, but make no mistake, this is a business and this is cutthroat. Well, you know what? This says it all. This says it all. I want to see what BuzzCutPsycho is saying about this. I'll put the link in the description down below, guys, for you guys to watch the original video. I just want to watch a couple of minutes left because I don't have a lot of time.
And I wanted to speak to them about, I guess, doing some type of collaboration or whatever.
Yeah, I've already done all that here. So apparently,
I'm not going to read it, but I'm going to...
Apparently, then Kate and Will, we've never seen Will, by the way. Kate and Will are then issuing an apology. So, I figure out to put a response to the Twitter thing. No, it's not a thing. Where I said to another YouTube asking to come to record the organ action. First off, I apologize for my tone in the messages. It was a bad time to respond, and I should have waited until after I'd slept rather than responding on that moment. That's an excuse. That's an excuse. That's an excuse. You can always just say no. I'll say yeah. Just say no. Just be. You can be polite even when you are tired. Anyway, I am often inundated with situations that come from running, such as busy org, so it's easy to brush some past interactions in the wrong mood. The tone of my reply was inappropriate. Yes, it was. And so for that, the respondent of the exchange has my sincere apologies. Yes, right? She says, of course, yeah, she says that once the conversation... It's always like that. Yeah, look, right? Lude, it's always like this. These people, they always apologize. They always apologize when everything is public. You know what? And you know what? I am not perfect. I'm not perfect. I've done a lot of bad things myself. Even on social media. I may have been, sometimes I may be a male chauvinist sometimes. I may be a little misogynist sometimes, I admit. I may be a macho sometimes, yes. That's it, right? That's the way it is. That's who I am. You know? I'm not gonna, you know... And I have offended some people. I admit, I'm not perfect myself. But I have never released an apology like this. Because, you know what? Yeah, it doesn't look good, you know? What I do, sometimes I screw up. What I do is like, all right, I screwed up, you know, I'm just gonna let it go for a few weeks. And then, you know, it gets back to normal, right? That's how it is. That's how it is. Because yeah, you make a public apology, but every time those public apologies, they always seem so fake, right? Just don't say you're gonna be good. Just try to be your best. All right, that's what I've tried to do. I've tried. I hope I've learned from my past mistakes, and I've tried not to repeat them, and that's the way it is. But the damage is done, right? Making an apology letter like this is not going to fix the damage. So, yes, I am protective of the content about the org. What is the channel mainly? It is what the channel mainly focuses on, and it took a long time and work to build. A lot of trial and error, a lot of people coming in and going over the years. Yep, maybe I'm too protective of that, but I think most businesses would be protective of an asset that plays a big part of the product that they have. She just takes that as an asset, but she's not making a lot of money with that. Like, I'm gonna see how big she is, but I don't think she's that big, right? If I go to Social Blade, there we go. That's who she is here. She has, she's making quite a lot of views actually. Things have not been doing good so far. Quite a lot of subs lost there. Of course, I'm just in front of the way. Let's see if we can. There I go. Yeah, she's been doing quite a lot of views indeed. How many subs does she have? 33,000 subs. So it's not that much. And on average, she makes about. So I can tell about it's about $500 here on YouTube, maybe 600. It's about on a good month, maybe 1,000. Between $500 to $1,000 a month. It's not that much compared to some of the big content creators. Now, probably she has a Patreon and others. So let's say with Patreon and the YouTube membership, maybe she makes $1,500. Still not enough to do that full time. So it's not an asset, and it doesn't make you. Make a living out of this. I don't think that she does, right? Anyway, being approached out of the blue by someone I do not know asking to just tip and record, I don't think saying no to such circumstances is unreasonable. Again, you could have said that in another way. You could have said, hey, first, let me get to know you first. Let's see what you do. Maybe come in for a few events and see if we can indeed do a collab, right? There are ways to do that. Sponsorships pay good. Sponsorships do pay very well. Look, that is true. That is true, right? Sorry, I apologize. It's okay. Look, no need to apologize, right? So over time, the repeating nature of that conversation has just worn me down. You may think that too knee-jerk, but I don't think it is unreasonable to say no to collaboration. There is a way to say no, Kate. And the way you say no was very inappropriate. We all have the right to choose what we do associated. Yeah, absolutely. But you have the right. You can also choose to have proper interaction with people, or you can choose to be a jerk. I did not ask to be contacted by the person in question. Yeah, but you just say nothing, You just ignore. At worst, if you're not interested, you just meh, and you just say nothing. What's wrong? If reading the exchange makes you want to watch the channel anymore, to not watch the channel anymore, I'm sorry, and I cannot change what has happened. I can only wish the best and blah 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 blah. All right. So here's what he says in Osho. Anyway, we're not gonna watch here. Why this happens in Star Citizen? This should be interesting here. I haven't watched this part.
The times have changed. It used to be that if you wanted to join an organization, or we'll call it a gaming community, if you wanted to join one back in the day, you didn't have very many to choose from. And the ones that you could choose from were typically more, what's the word I want to use here? They were more reliable. They were more vetted in their, in their criteria and their credentials.
And also, these were the good old-fashioned orgs, back in those days, you're like, hey, let's join our Discord, let's just have fun together, and that was basically it, right? But now it seems like a lot of the orgs, I'm thinking of Medrunner, right? Also, they're very too professional, too serious, right? In the end, it's a game, guys. You need to have a little bit of fun as well. It's just, I think that these people, they just need to chill.
Because back in the day, you had to have a .com, right? A .com, you had to have a web presence.
Mm-hmm.
You also had to have forums.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember
you
that.
also had to have some type of voice communication, whether it was TeamSpeak 2 or Ventrilo.
Oh,
and
yeah,
all these things
TeamSpeak.
cost money.
Mm.
So if you were an organization leader or community leader and you were putting in the time and the effort to have those things, it's coming out of your own pocket.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
it's-
I remember that. Yeah, it's true. Or you were using a cheap website like GeoCities. Could have a cheap website like GeoCities to have your org, but then you would not look so serious and you would not get a lot of members.
making sure, so that process alone is making sure that you are a cut above the rest when compared to today. Today, all you need to make a community
It's
of
a Discord.
org, you just Discord.
There you go.
Disposable Discord. That's it. Disposable Discord. Oh, look, now I'm a community. I'm a clan. I'm an org. I'm a guild.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what you do is make a Discord, and it is so much proliferation of garbage. It's littering. It's video game, computer game littering. This is what all these groups are.
Oh, that's a bit tough. Come on, it's just the same as the good old day GeoCities, right? It's what
The
it
people
is.
they want to find a group, they have a whole bunch to pick from, and the majority of them are absolutely terrible. And the ones that look good, like Stinky Skunk Works, for example, the head person in charge, they're admitting right there that this is my quote-unquote walled garden. Again, more like a farm. This is my farm where I harvest my cows for content to make me money. That's it. I'm sure that if they see this, they'll say contrary to that, but they're...
I'm sure. No, that's not true. That's not true. Come on, I don't agree with the. I'm sure that there are plenty of great orgs out there. I'm thinking, for example, of Armco, the Morphologist org. These guys are great people. That's not true. That's not true. That's very exaggerated. I'm not going to watch the rest here, but yeah, I want to say shout out here to BuzzCutPsycho for at least putting this video and exposing those practices here that just should not be happening in the Star Citizen community, and especially in the content creation community. This is just not okay.